Hey, YouTubers, guys. Tonight I'm lit with a purple light, and I suppose that's appropriate. It's been a while, a week or so, I guess, since Prince died. And big Prince fan. I didn't realize how big of a fan I was until he died. Certainly, I've listened to his music. I own tons of his stuff. Here's why I just dug out one thing. I own a ton. Here's Prince live documents, something that I've had for a while, but it's got a wide variety of stuff on it. Everything from the 70s up to the 90s. So you've got everything through Diamonds and Pearls, pretty much. Used to own the VHS of Prince and the Revolution live. Was actually recorded in the Carrier Dome in my hometown of Syracuse, New York. I didn't go to the show. Kind of wish I had now, but I never did see Prince live in concert, unfortunately. But I've seen a lot of clips of him, and his music was mainly what I was interested in. But what a performer! More than Michael Jackson, more than David Bowie, more than Glenn Frey. Prince was an artist. I don't want to take away anything from any of those other people. They all wrote great songs. They've influenced the culture. David Bowie was, certainly a fashion influence as well as a musical influence and leading edge. But Prince played every instrument. He played the drums. He played the keyboards, a variety of keyboards. He could play a grand piano. He could play guitar. One of the best guitarists in the world, I think. Eric Clapton was once asked by somebody, what does it feel like to be the greatest guitarist on the planet? And he said, I don't know, ask Prince. Prince was that good as a guitarist. He wasn't known for that. He was known for a dancer and a singer and a pop icon and a recluse to some extent, although Paisley Park was a place where he'd invite hundreds of fans on short notice just to stop by and have a party. I imagine it was by invitation only, but still, they were fans nonetheless. I had a DVD that I sold on eBay today, and it kind of killed me to sell it. I watched it one last time. I've seen it probably 10 times. It's called Rave Unto the Year 2000. It was recorded at Paisley Park in 1999. I'm sure it'll be a collector's item of some sort. But I don't know. I felt like there's a lot of fans out there that might want it more than I do, even though I was a big fan of Prince. So very saddened to have the news that Prince died, 57 years old, a young man, and seemingly in great shape too. I mean, it was odd because he was in great shape. I think it's going to be another Michael Jackson story where he was taking prescription drugs rather than illegal drugs. Excuse me. Prescription drugs don't mean safe. A lot of people take prescription drugs. It doesn't mean that they're safe to take. And depending on the dosages you take and what combinations you have, they can all be deadly. So it will be sad if that's what happened to him. They found him alone, I guess. There's a vault of music, I heard, and I knew about this vault of music anyway. I knew that there was a vault of music that was out there that get my purple screen back. I like my purple screen. There we go. And this vault, I guess, has got like just hundreds of years worth of music in it. If they were to release an album a year, they'd have like 100 years worth. So hopefully they dig through it. Somebody some sort of an archivist who knows quality music will dig through it. He really doesn't have that. He has like a half brother. He does not have a wife anymore, I don't believe. No children, I don't think. I don't think he has a child. Could be wrong about that. But I don't know who his heir is. I'm not sure. This estate could be a big deal. But hopefully somebody gets a hold of this music and releases it. I'd love to see Paisley Park turn into like a Graceland. It is more impressive than Graceland from what I understand. It's huge as a building complex. I've been to Graceland. It's a nice house, but I wouldn't call it a mansion by anybody's standards today. it's beautiful grounds. He's got quite a lot of big spread there. Presley had a lot of big spread there. And there is a couple of areas where he's got like gold records and some of his costumes and things like that. At one point, I think they had some sort of a, oh, I don't know, was it a tennis court? Might have been a racquetball court or something. I'm not sure. But Paisley Park has got this huge stage. It looks like a little bar, actually a big bar, or a small concert venue perhaps. But a full-blown stage with lighting and, you know, the whole speaker system and everything, along with a vault that has all this music in it, and then his surroundings where he has an elevator in it, lavish surroundings. Really love to be able to see that. And, you know, the people of Minneapolis loved Prince. He was a local boy made good. He never left the area permanently. He has another home, I think, in Spain or something. But he never left the area. He would spend a lot of his time there. His last concert, of course, was in Atlanta on, was it the 14th, I think? Something like that. And then he, on his way back, flying back from Atlanta, he's taken ill. They said the flu, but that's under some suspicion now, I think. And now it's a question of whether or not he was prescribed bad dosages of drugs or the wrong kinds of combination of drugs or what. We'll see. It's really sad because people like Michael Jackson, now Prince, both of whom, and Elvis Presley to make the the third, all died from prescription drugs. None of them had a drug problem as far as heroin or cocaine. I mean, Prince might have at one point, but he doesn't now, at least as far as we know. Michael Jackson didn't, but he had that propylene, whatever it was, that he took. He called it his milk to help him sleep. When people get this famous and their nights become their days and their world kind of turned upside down a little bit as far as, you know, they can't go anywhere. Very recognizable and so on. It makes it difficult. You know, I heard an interesting story of couple interesting Prince stories. There's a ton of them, but he's such a iconic, or was such an iconic person. Jimmy Fallon tells a story about going to play ping pong with Prince. Prince apparently is a big ping pong player, and he was going to come on the Jimmy Fallon show and play ping pong. Well, Jimmy said, "Well, we play beer pong. We don't play ping pong. But if Prince wants to play, we'll play." Now, Prince doesn't own a cell phone, but everybody he knows does. So what he'll say is, call Jimmy Fallon, tell him I want to talk for about 10 minutes. And so the person, bodyguard, whatever the person is, entourage, calls Jimmy Fallon and says, "Hey, Prince wants to play ping pong with you at Susan Sarandon's club," there's a name to it, in New York, at like 2:30, or maybe it was 12:30. Anyway, after a series of these kind of cryptic calls, Jimmy Fallon goes to the place. He walks in, he's looking around, he doesn't see Prince anywhere, and he goes up to the desk. He's like, I'm really not sure. And the woman says, "Are you here for Prince?" And he says, "Yeah, she's behind the curtain." So he goes and he peels back this curtain, and there, standing there, is Prince with the ping pong paddle in his hand and the ball in the other hand, ready to play, looking all Prince-like. I guess he had on like a suit, Prince-like suit. He didn't own any jeans, and apparently Prince was whooping his butt, and so finally the last shot, Prince did some amazing shot. If you don't know anything about ping pong, hits right on the edge of the table, like this, I guess. And there's this, goes off. No way you could possibly return it. And Jimmy Fallon goes to get the ball. I think maybe 2 out of 3, and he finds the ball. He turns around and Prince is gone, just gone. So, meanwhile, Questlove, who's Jimmy Fallon's drummer and band leader and knows Prince, is on his way there to kind of catch some of this. And he wants to see Prince. He knows Prince. as well as anybody knows Prince, I guess. And so he's heading there, and he catches Prince's limo leaving, and he runs up to it. He's out of his car. He runs up to it, and the window goes down, like in the Grey Poupon commercial, he said. And here's Prince, and Questlove says, well, what happened? And all Prince said is, ask your boy. And the window went back up again, which I thought was a good story. Typical of Prince, I guess. He was shy, as a lot of entertainers are. Loved being on stage. Loved music. He said once in an interview he didn't get involved in music for girls or for drugs or even for money. He got involved in the music world just to see how it would sound on a record. That says something, doesn't it? Thankfully, we have all this great music. And there's just so many good songs. I'm a big fan of Let's Go Crazy, that whole intro, Dearly Beloved. We gather here to celebrate this thing called life. Just a great hook on that one. Of course, the first song I ever heard by Prince was on, it was probably MTV years ago, and it was Little Red Corvette, and that one grabbed me right away. That was just a really catchy tune. Of course, Purple Rain, that whole album. I was a big fan of A Sign of the Times. Love a song called Thieves in the Temple, if you know that song. Just a little bit different sounding song. The whole Diamonds and Pearls album is a lot of Get Off, Cream, which ironically he claims to have written about himself while looking in the mirror. It was his last big hit that he ever had. But he said, yeah, that's it. It's Cream. Yeah, it was about him while looking in the mirror. And he never denied that was the case, that's what he wrote about himself. He had to love Prince. He found God somewhere along the way and didn't care for swearing anymore. And, of course, like he once said, if I can stop, anybody can stop. Because he used to have, he had quite a few interesting lyrics. And he stopped that. Just a really interesting guy. Tons of guitars that he played over the years, and beautiful pianos, and his music is there for all of us to enjoy, thankfully. And what a blessing it is to have lived in a time when there was such a person like Prince and Michael Jackson, and for those of us who are a little older, Elvis Presley, and Bruce Springsteen, for that matter, who did a beautiful rendition of Purple Rain in a Springsteen style, which I thought was really good. And he offered a free download for a while. I don't think it still is anymore. At least I can't find it anymore. But you can watch it on YouTube, and it'll be available. It's brucespringsteen.org. I'm not a shill for Springsteen, but I do like his music. All right, guys, that is my take on Prince and the passing of Prince. To me, it was a huge, huge blow to music. Who knows what the guy could have come out with. He was young enough to still be able to come out with some stuff. And just a tragedy that he's gone. So, rest in peace, Prince Nelson Rogers. And we'll have your music forever, which is a good thing. All right, take care, guys.